Alright guys, here we go. We are going to build the PG Unicorn Gundam. I'm really excited. I've got everything ready. Well, kind of. I've got it laid out on the table as best I can, but I do have my side cutters. I do have my design knife, and I was so excited I actually cut my finger. So, you know, be careful out there. Here's the manual. I'm going to open it up. First, flip it around, of course. Open it up, and you know, it says to actually start with, after I flip through all the runner pages here, all of them, it says to start with a stand. Now, you guys don't need to see me build a stand, but I will show you what I've got so far here. Let me move it to the side here where I will be keeping the manual kind of out of shot, but looking at the entire time. Here's the stand. I don't have to do anything of that, the base, but I do have the cover, which would also house the LED box control, and I also have the however you want to call it, the arm. Now this is kind of interesting. It's like an action base where I can kind of pull this out, and it gives me a little bit of motion here, which will probably mean, like, if I want to stand it in unicorn mode, that's fine. If I want to stand it in destroy mode, he's a little taller, I can open him up, you know. I'm going to lock him down for now, like so. Get him, you know, lock him as close to the bottom as I can, I guess. Find the right spot here. Okay, and I want to point out that this kit, even when I just started it working on the base, comes with undergates. There's undergates on this, on just the kind of the box cover, the base, the stand, and you know, that's kind of cool. I mean, we always say, oh, it would be great if Bandai undergated everything and we're not going to have any nubs of any kind. Well, that might not be perfectly feasible from Bandai's point of view, but the fact that they've done it on the PG Unicorn kind of shows to me that they really want this to be considered art. You know, you get, even the stand, the base, is kind of meant to be untouchable, or unblemished, I guess would be the proper word here. But what I'm going to do is drop this on the top. Now, if I was using the LED box, it would go in like so, but I'm not, so it's going to go in like so, and you'll have the flatness here. And then this thing, what you would do is you'd run a wire out the back here, which would then run up through the arm of the base. But I'm just going to plug this in for now, like this. Click it in. That was easy, and there's my base. And I'm just going to move it out of the shot here because I'm finished. And we need that later. So now what I need to do is start on the actual unicorn itself. And I've got my runners prepared here. And the first thing it says is I need the H runner, which just happens to be that Psycho frame. I need H and I need N. Now I think N is the normal frame runner, so let me grab that as well. And I'm going to probably need, you know, the polycaps and the locking parts. So I'll keep these here for that as well. So I'm going to try and work quickly, but I'm going to try and work cleanly as well, because this is supposed to be a display kit. We actually got it here at work because we're going to build it for somebody who wants to put it on display at their shop. So I'll just grab that like so. H14N5. Of course, this is looking very similar to the MG. And we all know there's been, I think, 13 or 14 MG Unicorn variations. So I think most people will have an idea how the MG goes together. And because of that, they will have a fairly good idea what they're looking at as we work on the PC here. So there's the first part. I'm going to put those there. I'm not going to slap them together yet because I want to get the next part ready as well while I have the runners in my hand here. So Palm 2 and Palm 26, is that what these are? POM and PC 26. So POM 2 is this guy here. That's the harder one, the longer one. But I do need a PC 26, so let me get that as well. PC 26. It's interesting that you will see they have the same shape here, but one is the hard plastic and one is the soft polycap. I'll put those to the side. And H15. Where are you, H15? It's hard to read these Psycho frame runners. H14, H15. There he is. That's not in order. What are you doing over there? Okay. It's pretty sizable though. MG is definitely quite a bit different when I am building these So I got that stuff ready, and it's time to actually start unicorning the unicorn here. So first step is take this one and this one, but first I gotta plug in the poly cap. So this is gonna go in the back here. Now it might be kind of far away for everybody, but once I get working on larger sections, it will obviously like take up most of the screen that you're looking at right here. So slide that in like so. Now with this cycle frame part, I've got these two pieces that look the same, but they're not. Make sure you grab the right one here, and there's a tiny ridge here. It's going to be difficult to see, but that goes towards the inside. Let's plug it in here. Now there's a little bit of resistance, so I want to support this piece. I don't want to have anything kind of breaking on me. Okay, there we go. Put that in. Push all the way. Quite a bit of resistance, but no problem. This goes on this side. And now we are meant to drop it in here. Now I want to make sure I'm looking at this the right way. This is supposed to go in this edge here and kind of just drop in. Like it's just sitting there. And I'm like, wow, I expected maybe a snap or something, but it is just sitting there. So when I grab H9 here, which is this cylinder, here's H9. What H9 does is actually kind of plugs into the back here, like to lock it in. So this hot part has to be up. I'm gonna push in here, and I've got to make sure that my alignment is pretty good, because I'm not gonna get another chance, I don't think, to kind of move it around. So how we doing? Push it in until it stops. When I push it in, I'm supposed to push it in all the way. So if it's giving me some resistance, I gotta make sure that this is not kind of blocking it. So there we go. Push it in. It's really stiff, but it goes. So don't worry if you encounter that resistance there. Just make sure it's lined up properly. Next, I need C parts. Now C, I believe, is the white armor. And yes, it is. And I actually need C17. Now, people are gonna make comments about nubs. Yes, there are nubs. I think for frame parts or parts that are going to be kind of unviewable, I might forget about removing gate marks. But for the outside appearance, the outer armor and such, I will probably clean those up. And they clean up pretty easily because they're white. So I got this here, I got this here, and I have to make sure I'm looking at the right thing, because it does say that there are undergates. So here is the L runner. This is the mighty chair, right? And it says there is an undergate underneath it, and sure enough there is, like tucked right under here. Can I get it? Yep, no problem. Okay, so let's put him in his chair, and then this has to go on over top. I think it's just going to slide in this groove here, providing I get it in there properly. Okay, all right, looks good. That is kind of cool. If you are one of those people who likes to detail up your kits, there's quite a few kind of details in here you might want to get in there with a paintbrush or even a Gundam marker and kind of, give that some touch up, but only if you want to, of course, because once this guy's built, you might not get a chance to see that as so well. So now I'm back to the H runner, and I'm taking these big familiar parts that are meant to house the cockpit here. This is H5 and H6. Make sure to study the manual. More and more Bandai is giving us undergates on kits, so make sure you find those. Look at the manual carefully. I wouldn't expect to see undergates on this side, but they are there, so don't miss those. This one has no undergates though. So what I've got so far, I'm going to plug this into here. Plug it in. That's all the way to the end there. There he is. And now I'm going to slide what I've done so far in this way, like so, and I've got two halves, right? So let's pop these in here. it actually is, it's gonna be hard to see, but there's little like tabs here, just in here. Let's see, here and here. If I wanted to and I could like push those down, I would be able to take this back apart quite easily. So if you want to remove your pilot, Bandai gives you the chance to do that, but don't use your design knife to kind of push down these. If you have like a, you know, pin vise or screwdriver or tweezers, you know, use those and click those down, pull it apart if you like. All right, so I've got the next couple steps laid out here. I've got the parts I'm going to need anyway. So first thing I need to do is go back to my cockpit here, and I'm going to put on, first off, kind of the bottom. Now is this frame or is this armor? You know, this is a different color than the rest of the frame, and it can be visible once everything's assembled. So I'm kind of thinking it's more like armor, but you know, that dark color, I would excuse people if they thought it was frame. Now I'm trying to get it pushed up as far as it will go, but you have to make sure that you're not like pushing at an angle, because this is very thin. Even though it's PG, it's very thin in some of these areas. You don't want it to, you know, have problems. That would not be good. So put that on, and then this one is meant to slide into here. Let's put it on as well. There is actually it's very tight fit, but it's just kind of sitting on there. And there's no click, there's no snap, there's no peg. It just fits into that hollow there. But it's really tight. Now I do have a use of a poly cap and the bottom of the torso here. So the poly cap is going to go into here, and don't worry, it lines up very specifically. It's quite easy to do. There it is. And now bring this in, put it together. It's slightly different color, of course, but don't worry, you can't see it from the bottom. So let's snap it in there. That was a satisfying sound, wasn't it? There's a poly cap in there. Now I'm meant to kind of drop this in here like so. Now there's these little pegs in here. I don't know if you can see them. They're supposed to go on the pegs right here. Yeah, this poly cap is not for this, but will be for the skirt when it plugs in. So let me do that. And it is on there as well. All right, I got a pile of little parts here, and I'm actually supposed to make a joint, and I've kind of prepared, you know, these ones, but I'll talk about how the other one goes together, because I'm making two of them here. So let me move some of my parts here, get what else I need ready. I need, you know, some of these. You know, you get a poly cap and you get a locking part. So on this one, I need the same part as number one for the locking parts. So I'll cut both of them out right now. And I do need the poly cap, which I believe is number 25. Let's find these guys. They're these two smaller ones on this side, almost MG size. These ones. Let me put it down like so. So you're basically doing the same thing for both these parts. We'll start with the smaller one. It does have this kind of edge right here that's supposed to go towards the top. It says so I'm supposed to go like this, and I'm supposed to put the PC part in the top and the locking part in the bottom. Let's do that. And then this one, there's no designation top or bottom, so it doesn't matter. So I'll drop this one in like so, and get a hold of this other part and grab it. So I've got these, and I've done the same with these ones too. Now I'm going to grab what they call number 16 from the Q runner, and this little edge here. Actually, I should probably take off this little tiny bit of gate mark. This little edge here that goes up, it kind of faces this, so let's plug it in. Pop. And now this piece here that I just did, it is going like so. We're going to push it in. It says push it in all the way now. Make sure nothing pops out if I'm putting the pressure on incorrectly. PC part at the top, yeah, okay, here we go. Go. And of course this thing's kind of sliding out the bottom. I do not know why it does that, but I can push it in from the side, I think. Get that joint type thing. And now it swivels here and it swivels here, but it's still kind of open. I'm meant to actually, sorry, lock it in. So I got this and I got this piece, and I'm supposed to actually lock it in like so. Now it looks like I need to get some more room to move here. There's a little groove in here. I've got my thumb sliding in there, and then this little fork, this opening is supposed to kind of go around that. So let's not screw that up. Last thing I need to do is break it, the old one and only unicorn I've got in my possession. Come on, get in there. Get in there. Yeah. This is how it's supposed to be. Slide in there. Slide in there. It's not quite working to how I want it. So there we go. I got it. I got it. Now I've got this kind of motion here and this kind of motion down here, and it's really stiff, of course, with the parts that they have you use. So let me try that again. Maybe this time I will have more success because I'm more experienced. Ha! This goes in like that. Piece, the locking part of the bottom, just like last time. Push it in, push it in. Slide it in. Make sure it locks. Oh, it's so hard to hold on to cylinders. Give me squares, man. Give me squares. Okay, there we go. Started, it's moving. Get in there. There it is. All right. Remember, these limbs are heavy. Like it's going to be quite a bit of weight, especially if he's holding that Gatling gun or he's holding the hyper bazooka. Like you need to have that resistance, otherwise these would just sag, right? And I mean, from what we saw at the Gunpla Expo, this thing is meant to be, you know, quite solid. So I have to take this position and turn it this way, right? 1, 2, like so. And this one's going to be the opposite, so let me make sure I'm looking at it the right way. 1, 2. Yep, looks right to me. Let's not confuse them right now. I need to get Psycho Frame runners, so I need N21. N is dark gray, sorry, not Psycho Frame. It's the runners I'd put over here first. Where'd you go, N? N21. It's like a housing for the shoulder joint. I see how they're doing. And I will need N22 as well, so I'm going to cut off both at the same time. N22. A lot of these gate marks are actually quite small. There's a few chunky ones, of course, but it's not too bad considering the size of the pieces that you're working with. So, oh, N24. Yeah, these ones are quite big. There you go, N23. Like that. Put it this way. And I will need other pieces after that, but let's work with what we have here. So, taking this piece, looking at the diagram, I'm supposed to somehow put this in like so. It actually snaps in, and you know, here's my joint. It was an interesting little snapping noise, wasn't it? Let's put that in, and then you close it up. So I've got like this direction. Sorry if it's difficult to follow with my hands in the way. I'm trying to make sure I follow properly because I cannot make a mistake. Like I cannot make a mistake. Pressure is on. So this actually drops down from above. And this doesn't, again, it doesn't like snap into place. It just kind of rests there. Can come off if I were to choose to pull it back off. But I will do that for now. This one goes like this, and this one comes in from this side. And it's actually like the perfect size here. This must be why they had that unique shape to this piece. It's the perfect size to kind of snap in here. So clunk, goes all the way through. Okumare it says, which means you kind of push it in all the way. So from this side, turn this around. I just did this and I'm confused again. That's right, in through there, like so. So I've got these two joints, right? They look the same, pretty symmetrical to me. Now I need what's N15, which is N16 and N6. So N6 is this larger one. It's gonna be in the middle. And then N15 and N16. N15 on this side, N16 on the other. No undergates on these pieces right now. So, taking what we have here, there's two pegs, like cylinders here, and there's these two slots in here. It will kind of just rest on there, providing I line it up properly, right? That's right. And you are meant to, making sure I got the right one here, kind of plug these in from below to secure it in place. So I'm going to turn this over, and I am going to, oh, hold on, this is not correct. I gotta fix this before I carry on. Push this in, push this up. Oh, look at that. Look how far it goes. Let's try it, make sure I got this one right. Push, before sliding this up here, push this in as far as it can get. You'll hear a little click there. And then this will actually house it. When you slide it in there, it will slide in and kind of hold it there. Now, if I've got the wrong angle, it's not going to work. So let me try this. There we go. Oh, wow. That's totally secure now. I don't think I've seen a joint like that. So I'm going to go, sorry guys, I'm going to start this again here just to make sure I did it correctly, right? Because that was pretty wicked. So I got this part, and I got this part, turning it over. And now this is meant to house it. So it's, and according to the manual, it's meant to actually, when you look at it from the bottom, have this out. Don't have it pushed in. You know, I mean, you can of course, but have it more out. So I'm gonna have it out, and I'm gonna have this piece, and there's these pegs in there that are gonna line up, go all the way through. There we go, like that. Now this will be able to move. You can hear that snap. So I already have a little bit of an idea of how destroy mode, you know, how that's going to work in the arm section at least. Little peg there, right? Like this. This little tab will go in this little hollow. Didn't notice that with the first one. See if I can get this lined up. Not quite. Get on there. Like so. So, I'm going to leave it open, but they do slide all the way in, right? Can you guys see? That's all the way in. Open, open, that's out. Like this. Okay, so I've got that. I've got my torso piece, my cockpit. This drops on from the top. Click, very satisfying. And C18, I believe this is the white part. I'm going to have undergates to work with, I'm pretty sure. C18 is this one. Very thin gates right here, but it is also undergated at the bottom anyway, and the top. Undergates. And smaller undergate, and flip it around, and I've got one more undergate. So let me put this part on here, and it's going to cover. Got this little peg, make sure nothing's in the way. And this is going to, similar to the MG, just kind of pop onto those pegs, like so. Okay, let me get the parts that I need for the next section, and we'll see if we can get this torso close to being finished. Okay, we're back, and I've got, the pieces I need to do the next part. It takes me a little bit of time to prepare them because there are undergates. Even on the cycle frame parts, there are undergates. So that's one thing to keep in mind here. So before I proceed, I've got cycle frame parts here, but I need parts from the J runner, the smaller runner here. And I need what is, they say, J11. So let me dig out J11 here. It seems to be some kind of joint. Now, in the manual, it looks kind of small, but it's actually quite a large piece. J11, and the other side has a J11 as well, so I might as well get that while I'm here. J11, where are you? This one here. Grab this one. No undergate on this one though, so don't worry about that. Put this here. Okay, so let's see if I can follow the assembly instructions. I've got an H2, and this has got a little hook in it, and I have to put it on like this. It's got to sit in here. This little tab is going to stick out, and then I have to plug it into H13. So how you go in there? Please teach me. Please teach me how you work. This tab right here, I suppose. Yeah, drop it in like so. I have this little J piece that moves around. Can be flush with this. It's actually meant for C4, so if I take C4, I've got my J piece. Am I looking from the back? I think so. I'm supposed to plug in like this. Let's make sure I get it right here, yeah? Like this. Oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Oh, I've never seen something like that before. Actually, I've never seen it work so well, is what I should say. That actually is really, really simple. Simple, big parts that work. That's what I like. So, plug this in here like so. Make sure it's lined up. All right. Snap in. Don't want to make that mistake, right? Already I'm thinking, maybe I messed something up. Let's follow the manual again, right? I turned both around and just did the exact same thing. Okay. First one was fine, this one not so much. So is it my angle? Like, what am I doing wrong, guys? Turn this around like that. The tab is in the wrong spot. Turn this around like this. This is the right way. I just assembled this. Like so. This one comes on from this side. Let's plug it in. Like this. Okay. Looks good to me. C3. Make sure it goes all the way in. It's difficult to line up because I got this little tab, but it's this tab here, but it actually kind of goes underneath here where you don't actually have access so easily. Like, you have to make sure you line it up properly, but it's not really that easy to do. And of course the other cycle frame part, there you go, is an odd shape, so getting the pressure you need, not always that easy. But I've got what I need here, obviously, so let's take my torso piece here and apply what I just did. So I have to drop it in from the top, they say. But they don't actually say where it goes. I guess it fits behind this little, behind that little edge. And once you get it in, it says 1 and 2. So I get it in here and I have to close. Come on, you. You're supposed to close, you're not. Come back out. Not easy enough to pop out with a little pressure. You have to sit in there. Okay. And you have to close. Okay. Now it's just sitting in here. Of course, it's a little bit loosey-goosey, but you know, it's on there properly. Now I have to work on this next part with these very small pieces you might not be able to see, but you probably have an idea what they are just by looking at them. So I need this J runner again, and I need a couple cycle frame parts, J17 and 18, and these are meant to kind of lock together. So I'll grab 2 here. When you were building the MG Unicorn, this piece was only kind of like the top here and was very, very, very small, and everybody would lose it. I remember losing a couple of those. So here we go. This goes this way, and then this piece slides on from the top like so, and then swings underneath like that. And now I'm supposed to take a G13 and drop in from this side, and the G12 like that. See if it can go all the way in. Yep, snap. Yeah, that looks pretty familiar now, doesn't it? Right? Interesting. So I got that, and I'll just do one more here. So once again, J17 and 18. That was fairly painless. Haven't made an unrecoverable mistake yet. Gotta be careful I don't jinx myself. So we're doing the same thing again. This is ×2. Just do the thing you just did twice. Drop that on, spin it under, throw this on here. I've taken the time to remove the nubs as best I can for now. Snap, like so. I actually might kind of unsnap a little bit, but I first take one of these and, like the MG, kind of slide it onto that peg. Have it down here. It can pop up, right? But this part, oh nice. This little cylinder circle here is actually supposed to fit in there. So I imagine it kind of runs along this guide, and then when you push up on one part of the arm or the shoulder, I don't know yet, of course, you push up along that guide and this will on its own go into place. So yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. But for now, I have to leave it up. So let's take that, and let's take this next one. Like so. Leave it up. Now these will drop onto the top here. There's a long peg here, and I imagine it's going in this spot right here. Line up all your pegs. Of course, you're trying to push it on, but you're holding on to this, which you probably shouldn't be. Okay. Okay. Good. That noise kind of scared me, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. 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 You stay up there. Looks good to me. Looks pretty familiar, don't you think? Now what I'm supposed to do is I need to put on some larger side armor parts. So I'll cut these out. It's going to be C20 and 21, that's right. And there are undergates, so give me a second to remove those. And while I have this runner in my hand, I might as well also do C13 and 14, which also have under gates. So I'll have to get those out. Quite a big gate mark right there. Let's have a look. That is a sizable undergate, and now it's gone. One here. Careful I don't stab myself again. That would suck. I have to go see the school nurse. And undergates on this side. So, it says there's a few of them. You need to make sure I don't miss one. One. And one, I got that one, and this one up here is an undergate too. Okay. Probably gonna need your design knife for that one. Let's get this one. This one. Okay, so I drop these on. These things snake through here and then go on the side. No pegs. There's a peg here. So, and then and then the guide for this part. Huh. Okay, hold on. Snap. Good. Maybe. It feels like it kind of bends around this curvature of the frame here, so be careful when you're doing that. This part goes on here, of course. And see if I can line this up again as I did last time. Here we go. And last pieces that go on are meant to slide in from the front, but I have to open this up first here. So let's see what I can do here. Like that, like that. Okay. Let me slide this on. And this one as well. This one's not as easy as the last one. Why aren't you easy? Oh, okay. You need to be in there. He moved. Trying to mess up everything. Just before Christmas. There it is. Okay. Now, of course, that's only kind of like half the torso. I gotta go all in here, prepare for the head. So let me flip the page in the manual and get the parts ready for that. Okay, I've been busy cutting out parts and taking off undergates and hopefully getting everything I need here for the next set here. We're getting close to finishing the torso, and we're going to put this aside for a second and actually kind of work on the neck here. So moving things out of the way, hopefully I don't lose them. Here's the neck, and I need one beam from the end runner. I saw it and everything, and I probably didn't cut it out. Number 19. So I wasn't prepared like I just said I was. I'm a liar. Okay. I'm going to take that and I'm going to just slide it up here. I don't think it indicates really which direction it needs to go, so I'll just slide it here now. Snap. You can see the kind of this gap here as well as this hollow. This will be for when you're running the LEDs through you can actually take the wire through there, if I read the manual correctly, without having to like jab it through there. It looks like you can actually string it from this side, which might indicate that you're not actually having to do a lot of disassembly should you want to put the LEDs in afterwards. So I've got this, and then I'm going to take a couple parts here. So I'm going to take this cycle frame part, and I'm going to take the white piece and make sure I line everything up here. And then it's already not quite lining up. It has to be back this way, behind it instead of in front. Now those tabs look like they're lining up. That was good. Like that. Okay. That was good too. I mean, there's some flexibility to these parts. And even so, if you get one thing kind of out of place, it can make life difficult for you. Like this gap here looks like it should close, so that's what I'm working on right now. There, I closed that little gap there. Everything looks like it's in the right spot. Now I have these two pieces here that are meant to kind of clip in, and I'm gonna get the right kind of pressure here. These actually open up if I can get them like so. Maybe I'm not supposed to open them up yet. Let me plop this one in as well. Drop it in. Clunk. Okay, now it does say that I can 1, 2 it says. 1, 2. Open like this and then close. Open like this. This actually, by opening this, it pushes this in kind of more to where it should go, and then you can close it again. See, there's this little gap here. That's kind of what is supposed to happen. And I also need this thing here will snap on. There's even an undergate in the very bottom of this piece too, which is strange to me. And I have to assemble the cockpit hatch, I guess it would be. So I'm going to take this now. I need to make sure I line it up properly. There's a little marking there. It needs to go towards the back. So I will do that. Snap. And then I have already cut off the inner gates. So I will slide this in here. Yeah. Like that. And I'll take this other piece here. I do see a gate I don't like. One sec, everybody. Let me make sure I clean my edges on this big piece. It's going to be front and center on this guy. Clean that up. I'll drop it in here. Snap, snap. Okay. And while I'm here, I should get this part that looks like I forgot with this step. There's like a couple tabs here, a couple spaces here. No problem. Looks like, round pegs, that kind of thing is not so frequent in the construction of the MG or the PG Unicorn, which is also something we were seeing with the MG new Gundam version coming, the high new and such. Okay, so I've got like these little assemblies, and I meant to put the actual torso kind of together completely. However, the next part of the manual, there's a lot of pink here, like if you are going to be using the LEDs. So I'm not actually going to be using the LEDs. So I'm going to assemble with the idea that I'm skipping the LED part and moving on to the next part, which is, well, I have to clip this onto the back. No. Open up the shoulder joints. Slide this in the back here. Make sure I get it right. Dear God, help me get this right. Okay. Open this up as far as I can go, it looks like. Clunk. Because this is going to have to go underneath here, so. Okay. Okay. Clap, 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 clap. Okay. And when I pull those out, I have an armor part for the top, but they haven't indicated the number, but of course it's going to be one of these guys, no? My assembly, sorry. It's going to be my assembly. It is going to pop onto here. tough to see where you have to work. Like, I know these guys have to slide into a certain spot, but I don't know which view I should take when I'm looking at this thing. Like, okay, from the back is okay, but the front seems kind of shady. Is this supposed to be behind there? Yep, like so. I got that. Looks good. Looks good to me now. Looks good. Anyone? I'm also supposed to put on first this neck part. Just kind of rests on there, eh? And this one as well. 1, 2, 3. I do have a back part I meant to put on here. That was easy enough. Simple. Simple. And now for the arm here. So this will go snap. It is now meant to kind of fold up into its spot, I suppose. Like that. And then it says I can close all these. So let's go slow here. Like, make sure that I tilt these down. 1, 2. I could have probably done that earlier in the assembly process, saved me a headache. But there we go. I liking this separate panel here. It's looking awesome. Now, there are these gaps here, and I do have the parts. I know which parts I'm supposed to put here. But when I look at the manual and I turn the page at this point, it shows me that I gotta do the legs. I'm doing those legs next. So likely they're gonna keep it like this. If you're gonna be doing LED wiring, I think you might have to slide some out here. I'm not sure yet because I'm not doing the LEDs, but I'm gonna stop with that right there and we can prepare for what's coming up next.